The United States and the Soviet Union have an alien invasion treaty. This is unimportant.
Guaranteed to not change your life. This is the Unimportant Podcast.
Welcome to the Unimportant Podcast. My name is Joe Bob. That is Anthony. We're talking about Area 51 today. A treaty between us and aliens, or what are we talking about?
We're talking about aliens.
Aliens. Aliens! I'm going to put that clip in there. That's what's going to be.
So check this out. November 19th, 1985.
Okay.
We're nearing the end of the Cold War. Mm-hmm. And this was like the first time in what felt like forever that the United States and the Soviet Union had like gotten together
and actually
tried to work out some differences.
Yeah.
The Cold War had been going on for forever at that point.
Yeah.
So the U.S. and the Soviet Union get together in Geneva to talk about it. And there's obviously, it's the whole big shebang, like big official meeting and all this and that. At some point, Reagan and Gorbachev, or Gorbachev.
I think it's Gorbachev.
I've always heard it Gorbachev, but it's spelled Gorbachev.
Is that kind of like how Brett Favre's name is Favre? Has anybody ever noticed that Brett Favre's, the R comes before... Wait,
literally,
the R comes after the V.
Literally everyone has noticed.
It's Brett Favre, but it's not. It's Brett Favre.
Right.
Anyways.
Gorbachev.
Okay. Gorbachev.
I'm going to say Gorbachev because that's what
That's what Reagan
heard.
says.
Yeah, that's what Reagan says. Anyways, Gorbachev and Reagan go for a walk.
Okay.
They're like, we're just two dudes. Like, we're sick of these official meetings. Let's just take a stroll and just chat like regular dudes. They don't really speak the same language, but so they go for a walk. They each bring their translator with them. It's just the four of them.
I always thought that's super interesting when world leaders get together and it's like a private meeting with two other people, right? Because they can't speak each other's languages. I wonder if technology is going to change that in the near future.
I don't know.
Where it's all going to be. We're going to trust it enough to actually get the translations correctly, and we don't accidentally.
Syria is going to cause a major global war. Anyways, while they're walking, Reagan turns to Gorbachev and says, and I quote, Gorbachev said this later in an interview. Reagan says to him, "What would you do if the United States were suddenly attacked by someone from outer space? Would you help us?"
Well, because he's got to put. I understand that from a negotiating standpoint, if you can't find common ground, because they're probably going back and forth like, all right, well, what if Czechoslovakia attacks us? And then they're going like, well, what if Zimbabwe attacks us? What happens? And Gorbachev is probably going like, oh, no, we can't. And they're not finding common ground. So Reagan probably goes, what if we get attacked by aliens? Are you going to help us then? Like, because then we're all on the same team and trying to find some sort of common ground. I think it's
great news.
Good.
Soviet Union did agree.
Wow, good.
Gorbachev turns to him and says, "Yes, no doubt, we'll help you." Reagan turns to him and says, "Yes, we would help you too."
Perfect. And that's probably so. Are you telling me? Is this where you're going with this? That the fall of the Berlin Wall was caused by a potential alien invasion?
Pretty much.
Wow. Maybe that's what it took to get people both to compromise on one thing. We just need to compromise on one thing, and that's what I think. That's what I think compromises start from. Like, right? Like you disagree on literally everything, and then someone's like, "Do you like jelly beans?" Like, yeah, I like jelly beans.
Everybody likes jelly beans.
Yeah, we're not that different.
I'm just glad that I feel so much safer now that we have a Space Force.
True. So check this out, right? This is what I've thought of, and this kind of ties into your theory about alien invasions and the plan that the Soviet Union and the United States had. There is a plan for everything.
Oh yeah.
What do you think they do in the Pentagon all day? They plan for stuff that will never happen. But what if it does? Like, what would happen if Canada attacked? Which they won't ever.
Right.
But what happens if Canadians invade Wisconsin? There's a plan for that. There's a plan for everything. Yeah. So with, Space Force, aliens. Hell yeah.
This is unimportant.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the podcast. If you want to make a difference and change the world, probably listen to something else.